So let me ask you this, because I think it's great that you threw out the disclaimer at the beginning that these are all flyers and there's a lot of risk involved in the flyers. One of my main sports card strategies personally over the last year has been, do I spread myself so thin on all these flyers? Because I think there's also like FOMO with some of this stuff. It's like, oh, Romeo Dobbs could be this, or oh, you know, Brian Robinson Jr. could be that. And like, but really what ends up happening, I think, is that not all of these guys pan out. Not all of them even have moments. I mean, some of them do, and a lot of them don't. And so I think what ends up happening, what's happened to me in the past is I've done this strategy where I've bought all these contenders rookie ticket autos, all these Prism Silvers, these cards that you really don't have to get graded in order to see a return on investment. Like I bought Rashad Bateman autos a couple years ago when he was injured as a rookie and things like that. And so was I able to sell them? Yes. Did I actually make profit on them? Not really. So then what I ended up thinking is like, had I just taken all that money that I used and held up for so long in all of these cards, the total on that, I could have probably bought like a Lamar Jackson kaboom rookie. I probably could have bought like a really big Joe Burrow card that I could have sold like one card at any moment that he's had. And so Chad, do you, I know you're buying all these cards, but like talk to the audience real quick about the likelihood that all of this is going to pay off for you. Like how are you, like you've obviously thought through this, but I'm a little bit concerned at the strategy of buying all of these different cards because not all of these things are actually going to happen to help people make money on these cards. When in reality, could they just be pooling all of this together to get one or two bigger cards? Talk about it, Chad. What do you think?
Yeah, so that's why I put the disclaimer out there. Fishing with a wide net can be dangerous when you're trying to be a flipper, because if you don't have the experience to look for the guys that I'm looking for that are going to pay off at a higher clip than just casting your net and reeling it in with random people. I was very calculated with the players that I just named off. I would, and it's a bet. It's hedging a bet is what this is. This is the fun part of speculation, is trying to find that guy that is going to go off. But I'm hedging my bet here that on these guys, I named off 14 guys that I believe that you could go and get one of the two cards that I talked about, a silver prism or a rookie ticket auto for each one of these guys in raw condition for under $20. So this is a little bit of a Ryan Painter type play. Um, and if they don't pan out, you're out very little money. But if they do pop off, it's these flyers that can 10x your money in a hurry. Your your philosophy is not wrong, Paul, and it's one for somebody that um, wants to be a safer path, have less risk. That is absolutely the play to go. But if you're willing to take a little bit higher risk tolerance, you can 5, 10, 15, 20x your money if a couple of these players pop off. So, I've maybe got $300 invested in these 14 players. If three or four of them pop off, it's going to pay for all the rest of them. It's a little bit more of a risk. That's why I said this is not a recommended play. This is not a sports card strategy show recommended play to go play in this sandbox. But what this was, if you are looking at, you've got a very limited funds, and you're just looking, maybe you buy one or two of these and you spend 20 or $30, and it helps you double your money and you get to 50 or 60. Don't go out and buy all of these like I am, but pick one or two that you kind of feel convicted on, and give it a shot.
I do know that the audience loves knowing exactly what you're doing, and I think that that's one of the things that makes our show unique is that all of us share exactly what we're doing, and we give a lot of context around why we're doing it, why it may or may not be the right move for you. So great work, Chad. I mean, I think it's super interesting to open the hood and see exactly what you're doing, especially at this interesting time of year, because it's like to know that you're buying sort of these skill position sleeper football cards that are high end cards really for super cheap. I mean, I think that is a move, and you're right, that is kind of a Ryan Painter type play. I really like that. I just sort of personally, like, I really questioned myself at, like, do I want to have all of these cards? Do I want to be responsible for listing all of these cards? That's something I would encourage all of you to think about is like, are you are you okay with the losses and then holding the cards? Like, are you as much of a collector as you are a flipper, and you're okay kind of holding a card if it doesn't pan out? If so, great. Like, this is a play for you. Also, Lefty brought up something really cool on the Overflow show in one of his answers last week. He said, um, basically, like, this is a play that um, really makes it fun. This is really what's fun about flipping cards. And Chad, you just said something. So this is fun. This is like kind of Lefty's quote was kind of like, do you want to watch this team? Do you want to watch this player? If so, this is a great card to go out and get. And so I agree. It's kind of like fantasy football. It's kind of like Lefty brought up fantasy basketball a minute ago with Jordan Poole. Um, so I think, like, I'm kind of bringing it like, hey guys, let's really be strategic about where we're putting our money. But I think it's important that you guys are bringing up, hey, let's not lose the fun. Let's not lose the aspect of, do we want to just kind of make a bet on this because it makes it more fun to watch? Cards are better than betting for that, and so you can have that element of it too. So great work there, Chad. All right, so let's go over to Lefty. I'm curious to your take on this discussion, first of all, and then I'd love to know who you recommend people list for sale right now, if anybody.
Yeah, I think I would be more in the category of actually I'm looking at my buys the past month or so. I've been almost right in the middle of what you guys are talking about, like casting a wide net, but also just buying a singular card. Over the past year, I've been trying to buy more of a high dollar card rather than a bunch of smaller cards and hope they go up $5 to $10. Um, and that has served me fairly well. I've lost some money on some of my big purchases, but it's been marginal because like when you lose on the low cards, you usually lose pretty bad. Like a $10 card can go down to a $1 card pretty quickly, from my experience. And so like if I lose $10 on an auction, if I buy it for 500 and it sells for 490, that's still $490 of bankroll that I get to move into a different card. If I lose that on a $10 card and it goes down to a one, if I do that 10 times, that's $90 that you potentially lost, and so that's just kind of the way I'm looking at it is I'm trying to buy cards that will appreciate over long term. And so I have like this option to get out of them if I want to, but I also can hold them to beat inflation as well. Because over the past 70 years, vintage baseball alone has beat the S&P 500. So it is something that is out there that you can build wealth with this. So I'm trying to toe the line of flipping, but also to build. So there's the answer to my what am I doing? I'm trying to build family wealth with sports cards, and I'm flipping my way up into like being able to put that wealth into more stable assets like real estate. So that is what I'm trying to do with this sports card strategy. I'm trying to flip it up into some areas where I can't currently go because I'm a millennial, and millennials aren't able to buy houses. And well, we can go there a different day. But what I'm saying is, I like the strategy that Chad's talking about. It's just not one that I'm willing to do right now because I don't want to focus on that many card profiles. I want to just be able to tune into, okay, what's Jackson Holiday's cards doing right now? Oh, they're popping off. Okay, let me get out of this. Uh, oh, disclaimer, I'm not getting out of Jackson Holiday. I'm just saying I would rather look at 10 names rather than 100.